Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Chelsea 1, Nottingham, 10-man Nottingham Forest 1. Guys, welcome back to Chelsea Godfather channel. It's your Chelsea Godfather reporting back to you. Please subscribe to my channel for regular Chelsea updates. Guys, we drew 1-1 today at home at the Bridge against Nottingham, Forest, and that was a very rough result, for us, especially given that Forest ended up playing the last, 20 minutes when you include injury time. They played the last 20 plus minutes of the game without their full deck of 11 players, right? They basically finished the game with 10 men after Ward-Prowse took a tactical foul on Jackson. It's really more or less a handball. Jackson was going to break away, and he used his hand to grab the ball, but obviously that gave him a yellow card. But what happened was he had a yellow. He had a previous tactical foul in the first half. So, he got shown the early doors, 10 men, and, it looked like, okay, we just might go ahead and snatch all 3 points. But let's rewind it, guys. Let's rewind this thing because I've gotten a little bit ahead of myself, right? Forest came to the Bridge, I believe, prior to playing against us. I think they had only conceded 5 goals, either 4 or 5 goals. This Forest team is legit. I know that's not what you guys want to hear. You don't want to hear that Forest is a legit top 10, top half of the table team. These guys defend well. They play as a unit well. They understand how to exploit spaces when the spaces present themselves. And overall as a team, given the level of Forest, they overall play smart football. They play within themselves, and that explains why they went away and legitimately won 1-0 against Liverpool at Anfield. That was a solid result, a real result, and a warning shot for you all Chelsea fans that tend to overlook Forest. I had mentioned this in my previous video against Ghent. Towards the end of the video, I talked a little bit about Forest in terms of the fact that, listen, they beat us at the Bridge last year 1-0, and we barely beat them 3-2 away in their own house late in the season, and we needed James. We needed James to come off of the bench and help us to basically engineer 2 late goals that had us turn around a 2-1 deficit, and we ended up winning 3-2. But hey, guys, James, you all know James is not a player that we can rely on these days. He's out, he's injured. Yes, he's back, he's training, but nobody knows when he's really going to be ready to play for Chelsea. And it really showed because, again, early in the game, early in the first half, it was obvious that the space. Space for us was pretty much the inverted right back, who ended up finding pockets of space just right outside their 18-yard box. And you guys already know that Gusto, he can do a lot of things well. He can do a lot of things well. He's fast. He's very good on the ball. He dribbles, all that good stuff. His crossing is good enough. Not as good as James, but his shooting, his shooting is poor, and there's a reason why he hasn't yet scored a single goal yet for Chelsea, because he's not really good in terms of shooting the ball, and he was the player that Forest players left open at the edge of the box. He had two or three good looks, and none of them came close to even testing their goal lead. So you guys already knew that Coach Nuno. You know what he's all about. He's all about a defensive organization. We know how he used to coach Wolves. He used to be Wolves coach. They pretty much play the same way, right? They're going to be solid in the back, and they're going to work their way out, methodically, and then try and find the opportunities when the opportunities present themselves. And that's exactly what they did. They came to the bridge, and they were nicely compact. I mean, they did not park a bus. This is not like Arsenal parking the bus and not playing football. This is really good defending by Nottingham Forest, and they played their way out, and were patient with their opportunities, right? And in between, of course, as expected, they were looking for their set pieces, both natural set pieces like free kicks and corners, and what I would call the manufactured set pieces, which are the long throw-ins from the deep in our half. You guys knew it was going to be direct action into our box and try and see if they can nick something, and that something actually did happen early in the second half. I believe around the 51st or the 52nd minute, it was an unnecessary foul that was given up by Nicholas Jackson. He gave up a foul, pushed the player in the back, clumsy on unnecessary. Which, by the way, Jackson was a total ghost in this game. For me, is the worst game Jackson has played for us this season. I can get him missing chances, things of that nature. But what I cannot accept for Jackson is literally not, participate, doing, giving us nothing on the pitch. And he gave us nothing on the pitch for like 80 minutes. If there was any player for me to point at, right? I guess when you play in a team like Forest, you need all your players to participate, because the job is already hard enough to basically create something. And we have one player that's not at least giving you what he normally gives you, which is in terms of his off the ball runs, his off the ball movement, his off the ball dropping into midfield to help in terms of holding up the ball for us and allowing other players to basically make off the ball runs into the space that he vacated. All that was just missing. That's what he normally does, right? That's what he does. When he does that, it leaves space behind. A player runs into the space that he left behind, and then it presents passing lanes for our midfielders and our wingers to slip balls into that extra space, and all that was basically missing. It just didn't happen for us. He gave up the free kick, and obviously, as it would have it, they scored from the free kick, from the direct free kick, from like 40, almost 50 yards away. They lumped it into our box. It was obviously something that was planned to target our short fullbacks. In this case, it was Gusto. They had Woods. I believe it was Woods who was their player, their striker, their big striker. They had him matched up on Gusto to win the initial header, which he did very, very perfectly. He brought it down for the player that actually ended up scoring 1-0. And we're like, okay, all right. The good thing is they're still like a good solid 40 40 odd minutes left in this game. At least 35, 40 minutes left, and thankfully we didn't have to wait for too long because about 5 to less than 10 minutes later, Noni, who up until then had been having a sort of off day. He had trying to make things happen. Shooting when he should pass and passing when he should shoot. You guys already know Noni. But thankfully, he never stopped trying. And finally, he was able to connect nicely with his left foot. It then led to the equalizer, 1-1. Right at that point in time, we were thinking, okay, all right, let's kick on. Let us kick on and see if we can just make it 2-1 and just close shop and collect these 3 points. And again, as I mentioned earlier, it looked like that was about to happen after Ward Prowse or Prowse Ward basically ended up with the second yellow card. Again, I felt like if there's another person to sort of lay blame, and it's a bit unfair because our coach has done marvelously well. He's really pretty much been on point. He's been on point this and the entire season with his the decision making so far. However, in this game, I felt like he waited a little too long. Maresca waited a little bit too long to bring in the extra firepower. Normally, he brings them in around the 68th to no later than the 65th minute. But I think probably because Mudryk scored that goal, because you already knew it was one of the players that's going to go out. But he then scored. He scored like around the 58 or so minute, or 55th, 58 minute. He scored. That kind of threw things off. And when a guy scores like that, you cannot pull him out. You have to give him time, because maybe he might be having another 2 or 3 goals left in him. You never know. So as a coach, he's like, okay, you score. Okay, I'm just gonna have to let me give you another 10 minutes and see what happens. And that basically, before he knew what was happening, 10 minutes later, we're now into the 70th plus minute, and that's when their player, I can't remember which player it was, that got injured, and he chewed up another 6 minutes on the clock, and which explains why by the time Kunku and Mudryk and Neto came on, it was closer to the 80th minute. So it was just one of those days that, listen, you're not you're gonna have these kind of days, and I always say, listen, if you're not gonna win, don't lose. If you're not gonna win, don't lose. And in this case, we had chances to win this game. We had first of all, Felix should have scored the header off a brilliant inch perfect cross from Neto, and then Kunku definitely literally in front of goal from a marvelous world-class work done by Mudryk, who everybody has been criticizing. He's done everything right. He's just ran the length of the pitch, and with his weaker left foot put an inch perfect world-class cross. World-class with his, you wouldn't even know that he's right-footed. The cross was so sweet. Nkunku, all you had to do was just calm down and pick the corner where you knew the ball was coming in. Like you actually saw it coming. So okay, now okay, I'm gonna put it far, either down and far, or I'm gonna send it back, not it against the grain, back to where the direction of where the ball came from. Either one, it was gonna be a goal, and that probably would have been enough to actually win the game. But he just personally, I feel like he rushed it. He rushed it. I'm not laying blame on Nkunku, but he just saw the header and boom, just put his head on it, right? And I feeling like it was going to be enough, and we all thought it was going to go in, but the ball went mostly directly to the goalie, and the goalie saved it. Credit to the goalie, for at least being at the right place at the right time and shifted, but. in fairness, the goalie didn't. It wasn't like a fingertip save. This is not unlike two crazy chances that Forrest had in the same injury time to basically win this game. Forrest had a chance to win this game from us with 10 men, if not for Sanchez who made two, not one but two fingertip saves for us. And that's why, for me, Sanchez is our man of the match. And for me, it's 1 point gained and it's not 2 points dropped. That's just how I feel. We're going to go into this international break. Spurs drop points. Spurs lost. I don't know how they lost to Brighton. Everybody said that Brighton is not good. That, they can't defend, blah, blah, blah. Well, they beat Spurs. They came from behind 2-0 down at halftime. Brighton came from behind and beat Spurs 3-2. And then obviously Aston Villa drew goalless at home against Man U, that has been pretty much losing to almost everybody. So notwithstanding that we drew today, we are still in fourth place. We're going to be in fourth place going into this break. And when we come back to the break, it's going to be Liverpool at Anfield that will be waiting for us. Again, as I mentioned previously, I was more concerned about this Nottingham Forest game than the Liverpool game. I'm not saying that Nottingham Forest is better than Liverpool. No, they are not. But what I'm saying is, a team like Liverpool plays, they play football. They're a little more open in the way they're going to play. And so that's going to hopefully be a little bit better of a balance for us and the kind of players that we have. So that's just the way that I see it. How do you all feel? Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you guys. Peace.